Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a huge bag of empties to go through. I've been accumulating these empties since I started doing makeup when I was like 14. I may have lost a few products along the way, so I'm sorry. But this is part one because I just can't upload more than about 10 minutes of like video at a time. So I'll get straight into it. I'm gonna start off with some foundations. First of all, this is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and I wore the shade 120, which was slightly pink for me, but it just looks like this. It was a pretty good foundation to start off with. I didn't like that it didn't have a pump, but otherwise it was okay. I didn't like the no pump thing because I felt like it was a bit unhygienic. That's fine. It was buildable and it was pretty natural. So that's all I have to say about the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. The next foundation I have is the Rimmel Match Perfection foundation, and it's super old, so all the label has come off, but it was good because it had a pump. And yeah, this was slightly light for me, but I made it work. This was like my winter shade. I find with Rimmel foundations and like face products in general that they really melt into the skin and like sit well on the skin. So I appreciated that this wasn't cakey too much. The next foundation I have to talk about is the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation. This was slightly darker than the other. Oh, by the way, I wore the shade 100 Ivory in the Match Perfection, and I also wore the shade 100 Ivory in the Wake Me Up. However, in the Wake Me Up, it wasn't too light for me, so I don't really know what's going on there. I enjoyed the like Wake Me Up scent of this foundation. It was kind of like fresh, and it was really enjoyable to put on in the morning. And yeah, just overall a good, very natural foundation. This was buildable, but like light coverage. It wasn't like sheer or anything though. This is like on the lighter end of like a full face, you know. The next foundation I have to talk about is the L'Oreal True Match foundation. And L'Oreal and Rimmel, L'Oreal and Maybelline are the same brand. L'Oreal owns Maybelline, so I kind of think of these as like cousins, although this was a lot more like the Match Perfection in my opinion, in that it was very natural while being good coverage, and it was a really good match. The True Match range has a lot of shades in it, so I was the shade 2N Vanilla, which fitted me really well. And I really enjoyed this foundation. It just did the job perfectly. The next thing I have to talk about, I'm going to save some foundations for the next video. So I'm going to get into some face products now. The first one I have to talk about is the Too Faced, what was it? The Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. And it's all gone. It's this teeny tiny like sample size that I got, and I loved it so much. I purchased the full size, and that's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. The next thing I have to talk about is the Benefit Majorette blush, and I loved this blush so much. It was a gift from a friend, and she very kindly gifted this to me, I think for my birthday one year. That's the little like thing that comes in it, and I'm such a freak, I keep the like packaging all on it still. But I panned this blush. I loved it. It's a cream blush, so I tried to not use too much of it on the brush, otherwise it would take off my foundation underneath. But I really enjoyed it, and it has a really like cute peachy kind of scent. So yeah, I really enjoyed this blush. The next thing I have to talk about has no lid. I don't know where the lid has gone, but this is the Rimmel like Stay Matte powder in the shade Transparent. Everyone's had this before. It's a really good, affordable, mattifying powder, and I loved it. Yeah, it's a good one. The next thing I have to talk about is everybody's first highlight. It's the Mary Luminizer, and it's a really, really good champagne-y highlight. Obviously, there is none left in mine, and I used it and loved it to death, so it has fallen apart. But I have now got like a mini version in like a palette, so I still enjoy this. And it's just a great highlight for like lighter skin tones especially. I can't speak for darker skin tones because obviously I'm not a darker skin tone, but for lighter skin tones, this is really wearable. Even if you're paler than I am, I reckon you could still make this work. The next thing I have to talk about are a load of eyebrow products. So these are all from Colourpop. They do my favorite brow pencils. They make both the Brow Boss and the other one is the Precision Brow Pencil. So they first came out with the Precision Brow Pencil, and I wear the shade Black Brown, I believe in this. Yeah, Black and Brown it's called. And then the only thing I don't like about this is that the pencil isn't like retractable. So after you like wind it out, if you wind it out too far, you can't wind it back in. Then they came out with the Brow Boss, and you can wind this back in, which is cool. But I still use both products because I like the Precision Brow Pencils, super, super fine tip. And I like the Brow Boss, the Brow Boss's super fine tips. So makes no difference to me. I repurchase these all the time, and they're my favorite. I think I've got 4 here. Love these. The next thing I have to talk about is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15. Let me see if I can like get a little bit of a vibe. Okay, I feel like this one, they have like a really odd shade range with these. I think 15 fit me, but 20 was really dark and yellow, and I think 10 was darker. 15 was lighter than 10, which was really odd. But it's a really creamy concealer, and I really liked it. It's got a good amount of coverage, and yeah, it does the job. It's on the slightly pinker side though, so it's not like the best match for me, but out of their lighter concealer range, this was the best I could get, I think. The next concealer I have to talk about is 2N Vanilla from L'Oreal. This is from their the range that was with this, the True Match range. So these came together, and obviously these were together. And yeah, this was a really good concealer. It was slightly more like melty into the skin vibes than this one. This one sat on the skin a little bit more. This one wasn't as like creamy and sitting on as a layer, so this blended in a little bit better, I found. But this was slightly higher coverage though, if that helps at all. The next concealer I have here to talk about is the Wake Me Up concealer, and obviously that came paired with, I bought them together at the same time. I bought that at the same time as the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation. But with the Wake Me Up concealer, I really like this because I felt like it really melted into the skin. I love the way, as I said earlier, I love the way Rimmel face products melt into the skin, and this one really did that. It really gave you a like kind of skin finish, and I would wear this just by itself. The next thing I have to talk about is the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 120. Can I open it? I thought this was so cool at the time. Obviously it's all panned, but I loved how it opened up and had a little secret compartment under there. It's probably not so secret, but I thought it was cool. Obviously these were all a vibe at the time, but I was really cakey, and when I'd wear this, I'd wear it over the top of this. So it was like a lot of coverage, which was what I was after at the time, because I had acne prone skin back in the day, and so I really wanted to like cake on the coverage. But like powder foundation over liquid foundation, it was a lot of coverage. It was a bit cakey when I was wearing it, but I'm sure if you are wearing this today, there is a way to wear this that isn't really cakey. It's just not how I wore it. The next thing I have to talk about are a bunch of Maybelline mascaras. I loved the falsies back in the day. So here are 2 of the falsies. These used to be like my favorite drugstore mascaras because they just work. They do the job and they're affordable. I love these, they're great. The next one was the Mega Plush Volume Express, and I also loved this because it kind of had like a silicone-y aspect to it. It kind of, it did feel plush on the lashes, like it really does do what it says. Oh, by the way, these are slightly different. This one's the Hydro Fudge edition, and then this one was the Black Drama Hydro Fudge as well. There's so many different ones in the Maybelline Falsies range that I like get confused because there's so many different variations. I believe at one time I collected every single variation because I was like, these are my favorite mascaras, and I wore them all. The next mascara I have used up is the Benefit They're Real mascara, and this is a great mascara. Really used to be my holy grail, really good. The wand is kind of funky. I really like silicone-y like wands over like bristly ones. But yeah, I've found better mascaras since this one, so that's all I have to say about that. That's all the empties I'm going to go through in this video because I don't want this video to get too long and for it to not upload. So I'll have some more videos coming very soon, and one of them will be part 2 of this empties, and I'll catch you later. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment anything you want down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Oh yeah, and subscribe for more content. Bye!